I'm not that great at right-handed. But I'm getting better, eh? Come on, admit it. But yeah, that's with a bit of a tube screamer. And this is just clean. I gotta get better at bar chords one of these days. However, this is my Fender Squier, or Squier actually. It's not even got Fender on the front. This is Squier, designed by Strat. These come in those Strat pack kits. You get the amplifier, you get a tuner, you get a case, all that jazz, right? For about 360, 370 bucks Canadian, or $330 on sale right now, something like that. Anyways, I got this for 100 bucks at Long & McQuaid, and it's only got one little nasty on it, and that's okay because I'm stripping this whole thing down. I started doing a Amazon hunting list for parts. I want to do some upgrades to this and get rid of this mark here. Not that I really care so much, but it makes a good project to redo this thing, to make it like 100% like no flaw like that. But otherwise, I mean, you don't even know it's there. However, this series of videos is not about doing mods. It's about talking about what I don't like about the guitar. And as far as what I can see on this thing, it's got some nice frets. Beautiful fretwork, by the way. Very impressed, considering these are technically cheaper guitars. The relief is probably about 6 thousandths maybe, if that. The action is fairly low, which is good. It makes somebody like me, who kind of sucks at right-handed, easier to learn how to play. Tuners are not bad, they're pretty decent. Maple neck is nice. You know, I believe the fretboard, if I remember, is Payafero or something on this thing. If you just go along the McQuaid website, look up these Strat packs, or if you've got Guitar Center, you're in the States, look up these Strat packs. They kind of tell you a lot of information of what these things actually are. But they're really nice sounding though, that's the thing. For a cheap guitar, they're not bad. Although that pickup could probably be lowered a bit and bring the high end up a little bit. And the middle pickup seems to be alright though. And the middle is just fantastic. Now I did have to buy a whammy bar for this, so I mean I can't pick on that as something, oh, I don't like that, I don't like whammy bar. No, I kind of expected that. It is a used guitar after all, but it still has the plastic on it, which I've yet to take off the pick guard. So yeah, I got a great deal for $100, I think. But the string trees, I never liked the string trees on any guitar. If a guitar has string trees, especially this style here, these things are garbage. Especially if you want to use a whammy bar, those strings will always get caught up, kink, and throw you right out. So roller bearing trees are the solution, but if you're going to put a set on, while you're at it, you might as well put another new set of strings on, because otherwise you're kind of defeating the purpose of doing an immediate switchover without putting new strings on, because they're already kinked. So you need fresh strings to follow around the semicircle of the roller, right? And because these are pretty wide, and so yeah, once they're kinked, that's it. So, which is another reason why Strats are such a pain with whammy systems, is that is a key problem right there that causes a lot of that out of tune stuff. It's not always about the nuts, you know, or whatever. These string trees are just abhorrent garbage. Fender has their own design of a string tree, but it's not a roller style, but it's got like little nubbies and it's kind of a little rounded, but it has such a small area that it covers that when the string pulls up it kinks it too, right? So it's kind of like too wide or too skinny is a problem. You need kind of like the just right, but also with a roller system so that the strings can move along, right? Then I go back in tune. I can't really say that much bad about it. Single ply pick guard, well, hey, what do you want? It's a cheap guitar, right? The tuners could be maybe upgraded to something a little better. They're like a 14:1 ratio, probably. It's my best guess, because they're definitely not 18, or they would be a lot better, but they are very sensitive. So I would say maybe that's something I kind of dislike, but at the same time, for how often I play this thing, it's going to stay in tune when I play it. So it's almost like wondering, should I really do any mods and upgrades to this, or should I just wait till I get another cheap Strat like this that I want to do my Hendrix thing with? But then again, I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I'll think about it. Maybe we'll mod this, maybe we won't. I definitely am going to change the string tree regardless, though. And this one uses 2. My Mexican is only, my Mexican's only 1 tree. This uses 2. This thing gets along great with my orange amp, gets along great with pretty much everything in here, other than, like my Mexican Strat, it doesn't like the Black Star HT5. Well, a little bit unclean, it's alright, but dirty channel, not at all. And besides that, these aren't metal guitars, these are traditional SSS, right? So they're not made for heavy metal or really super hard rock. They're good for light rock, medium type rock maybe, classic definitely, blues, jazz, yeah, that sort of stuff, and playing quieter stuff, acoustic simulators through them. You know, that's what a Strat's good for in the traditional setup. And see, I like the traditionals. I had the HSS 70 Strat, and well, let me just put it to you this way. Fender does a really decent job most of the time on single coil pickups, but when they throw a humbucker into anything, that's where they go wrong completely. And on the 70 Strat, they definitely went way wrong on that humbucker. It was horrible. I couldn't believe how bad it was. But not much bad to say about this little thing. More good than bad. But I do... It's not that I'm annoyed for my OCD on this, but it's kind of like, I know it was a used guitar for $100, but I'd really like to get that out of there, because, yeah, and if I'm going to spend any kind of money even doing some little classier upgrades to this, I think we need to do the body. But we'll have to definitely change the burst, obviously, in order to accomplish that mission the way we want to. So that's what is going to happen with this thing probably down the road. It depends. If it does happen, you guys will definitely be, well, I'll be the first to know, so you'll be the second to know. So, but anyways, otherwise, if you do get a chance to pick one of these things up, and you're looking for a great beginner guitar, and I would definitely play live with this. Seriously, I would. It's really good quality considering, right? I mean, this isn't like, you know, back in the 70s and 80s kind of thing where cheap guitars were really cheap guitars, right? I mean, you know what I mean? Even the 90s were pretty shaky on cheap guitars, but, you know, once the 2000s have hit, yeah, cheap guitars are pretty freaking good nowadays, you know? So I'm kind of like, yeah, well, hey, you know, even for buying the whole kit for under $400, the amp's no thing to listen to really, but you know, the guitar is definitely nice, and the extras they give you is kind of cool. I just ended up with the guitar because somebody bought the kit and turned in the guitar, and like I said, they never even took off the plastic, so I'm going to do that later. But yeah, it's still a really nice guitar. How they christened the back end here, I have no idea what they did there, but I don't care. You know, it's what it is, right? But yeah, tuners definitely got to get changed though. It does need some better tuners for sure. The whammy system I don't use anyways, but I'm OCD. I had to buy a whammy bar, and at least it's 5mm. Something that Fender has now switched to 3 millimeter on USA's and 3.5 on Mexicans, and they snap, they bend, they do all kinds of nasty stuff to make your life miserable. 5 mil, you can rip the snot out of this all the day, won't hurt it. But the new ones, yeah. That's why I'm scared with that Mexican one. It's got a 3.5 millimeter thread, and yeah, it's, you got to really watch it. And I don't really use the whammy bars, like I said, not on these. On a Floyd, yes, I'll go whammy crazy all day, but these things, they don't stay in tune anyhow, so why bother? But they are kind of cool either way. But that's what I have to say about this thing, so stay tuned. We've got a few more guitars to go through, and I think we'll wait for another day to do the rest of my gear, because yeah, it's starting to get on in time. It's getting close to dinner, and it's been a really long weekend, so I think we'll finish off the guitar videos for today. For you guys, so you got lots to chew on. Check the playlist. I've created a playlist of, I don't know what I'm going to call it, but it probably is likely going to be along the lines of things I don't like about my music gear, probably. I don't know. You'll find it. Just look in my playlist area for all my playlists, and you'll come across this one. It'll be a new one in the title, so you'll find it pretty quick. But otherwise, just video at a time on my channel, right? So there you go. Our Fender, well, our Squier for sure. Still, you know, I mean, they're still by Fender, right? It does still say Squier by Fender, so it's still a Fender guitar regardless. It is Indonesia, and Indonesia's, they make pretty decent stuff, so. But anyway, that's it. That's all. See ya.